Once in the ancient city of Rajagaha, a man named Viraj lived in despair. Once full of energy and life, he had now sunk into the dark grip of depression. He felt overwhelmed by sorrow and guilt, his mind constantly replaying his failures and regrets. Viraj could neither eat nor sleep, and his thoughts were a ceaseless storm of hopelessness. No matter how hard he tried to escape the darkness within, he felt trapped. One day, hearing of the enlightened Buddha's wisdom, Viraj decided to seek his help. With great difficulty, he made his way to the forest where Buddha was teaching. As Viraj approached, his steps faltered. He worried that even the great Buddha would not be able to lift him from his suffering, but he pressed on. When Viraj reached the Buddha, he fell at his feet and wept. "Great teacher, my heart is heavy with sorrow. I have lost my way. My mind is filled with darkness, and I cannot find peace. Please, help me." The Buddha looked at Viraj with deep compassion and said, "Sit, my friend. Tell me about this darkness that clouds your heart." Through broken words, Viraj poured out his anguish, the regrets of the past, the fear of the future, the weight of his unfulfilled expectations. Buddha listened patiently, never interrupting. When Viraj finished, Buddha spoke gently. "Your mind is like a river, my friend. The more you fight against its current, the stronger its pull becomes. Instead of resisting the thoughts that torment you, observe them without attachment. Like leaves floating on the water's surface, let them pass. Do not grasp at them, and they will not hold power over you." "But how?" Viraj asked. "My thoughts feel so overwhelming." Buddha smiled softly. "Your suffering comes from attachment, to your past, to your ideas of what should be, and to your fear of the future. The present moment is all you truly have. Stay with it, breathe with it. Each breath is a reminder that life continues to flow, even in your pain." Then Buddha guided Viraj through a simple meditation. He asked him to close his eyes and focus on his breath. "Feel each inhale, each exhale," Buddha instructed. "Notice how the breath comes and goes, like waves on the ocean. No breath is permanent, just as no thought or feeling is permanent." At first, Viraj found it difficult. His mind kept wandering back to his sorrows. But Buddha's voice was calm and reassuring. "It is natural for the mind to wander. Gently, without judgment, bring it back to your breath. Your mind is not your enemy, it is simply restless. Be patient." After a while, Viraj began to feel a small sense of relief. His thoughts, though still present, no longer felt so overwhelming. He felt the first flicker of peace in what had seemed like an endless storm. Buddha then said, "Life brings pain, that is the truth. But suffering, your attachment to that pain, is optional. When you let go of the need for things to be a certain way, when you accept life as it unfolds, you free yourself from the chains of your own mind." Viraj stayed with Buddha for several more days, practicing mindfulness and learning to detach from the thoughts that had once tormented him. Slowly, he felt the weight of depression lifting. He began to understand that his thoughts were not his reality. They were just passing clouds in the sky of his mind. Before he left, Viraj bowed to Buddha and said, "You have saved me. I feel like I can breathe again, like my heart is no longer drowning." Buddha smiled and replied, "I did not save you, Viraj. You saved yourself. You found the power within to let go of the suffering you had been carrying. Remember, each day is a new beginning. When dark thoughts arise again, as they may, greet them without fear. Breathe with them and let them pass. Freedom lies in the present moment where suffering cannot hold you. And with that, Viraj left the forest, lighter in heart, knowing that the path to peace was within him all along.